One, two, 1, 2. What's going on, people? It's D Train once again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the title is Serena Osaka, U.S. Open, and less than apparent issues. Um. Okay, so uh, it's I don't like really talking about you know these people, but it's almost like you can't help but do it. But there again, you still really don't want to talk about it because it's like, why is this news? And then the more you look at the situation, it's like, okay, you can kind of see what's going on, but either you can't verbalize it or you don't know what to think about it until some time passes. And so I was looking at it for a couple days, I think. I don't know when this happened. I think it was a couple days ago. And you can always go back and see the development. There are different people on YouTube who have done a great job of breaking it down from their point of view. Um, uh, Probably clip by clip and word for word. And I'm not going to do that because there's my computer. In order for me to do that, I w- it would take more right now than I'm comfortable doing, which is kind of going back to the way I was doing videos before when I didn't have so much load on this handy dandy MacBook Pro 2007. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have as much stuff on here, but anyway, that's beside the point. That's why I've been doing more uh, uh, live streams lately. Lately, I mean, like last few months. So I have to find out a more efficient way of doing that. But anyway, backdrop. Okay, I'm living my life, right? I'm, I just planted some salad. I got a salad patch, right? I'm living my life. I got things on my mind. We got a hurricane that's getting ready to come through, right? It's going to hit North Carolina. Um, One of my daughters is not feeling up to par. Um, you know, and there are other personal things in my life that are going on, just like every other person out there. Okay, so that's the backdrop of everyday life, and then um, there are people who do a great job making a living of keeping us up to date on YouTube, and I applaud that ability to be able to do that because it takes a discipline and it takes consistency. And, I'm still working on that part. I ain't perfect. I ain't good. I mean, I probably suck. I don't know. And then you hear about a tennis match where somebody lost their temper. eh, And I have to say, man, it was kind of annoying. But then the more I looked into it, I was like, oh man, you kind of feel bad. Well, I did because I kind of feel like I know what's going on. Now, let me see. I might get a. Oh, uh, okay. That's a. Sorry, that was a message. One of my many messages on a. Like I worked last night, got in about 3, and I got to get up and take the, got to do stuff to do, and then so um But there's some things that have to do that are underlying that I think we need to address. Now, this young lady, Wyoming, I don't even know what that is. Wyoming? Do I know somebody from Wyoming? Um, they all right. First of all, she just got married, right? And I, th- I think she had a baby a year ago. So let's keep that in mind. And I'm not trying to make excuses because I've seen people act like this in my own life towards me, and it seemed like there was a tone deafness going on while it was happening. And it's because of all these emotions. Now, why would she be going through a range of emotions like this a year after she had a kid? That baby is whipping her ass. And I'm talking as a parent, any parent that spent a year with a baby, you know, and you one of the best in the world at what you do. That's a difficult that's a it's a difficult thing to manage. I know some people in the soccer world who played at the highest level, and people go through a lot of stuff after they have a baby. You can still play at a high level, but things that moved around in there. Let's take a look at it for a second. You got this little human inside you. Now, please don't take this as me excusing her behavior. I've been subject to this type of thing and I didn't like it. It wasn't good and I felt very disrespected. Okay? So I empathize with that judge. If he's in a place of authority, if he's the authority figure, it's easy for someone who has fewer cards to attack the one that's holding the damn deck. He's like, come on, man. Right? It's easier to go that way. Okay. But let's just, in a greater context, she was carrying around this human, this whole separate individual in a sack where that individual had to have its own DNA separate from the mother's DNA. And then there's a barrier around that where information and fluids and nurturing has to go through. Okay. While that baby is in there, that baby's kicking, moving, shifting things around. Right. And this woman has lived with that baby in her for, however long it was, never being able to see it, just understanding that it's there. You anticipate what it looks like. How's it gonna be? What's the personality gonna be? She's still working this thing out, right? And then on top of that, her hormones are going to be different from the baby's hormones, but it's reliant on her system working properly. All of this, a lot of stuff has to go right. And so this baby comes out, no more barrier, things and shifted. It would be impossible to assume that things didn't shift in her. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay. We're only 1 year out after her having that baby, and a lot of women go through a lot of emotional changes, man. They still getting to learn their baby. Anything that baby sneezes, you thinking, oh, Is my baby allergic to something? You heading to the damn hospital. Try back then it wasn't like back in the day, it wasn't like that, man. It was just like, oh, baby just sneezed, is still alive, breathing. Okay, it's good. Whew. Nowadays everything's gotten so heightened. The baby, who knows what's going on with her and her personal life, okay? And I'm not saying that this is the reason for all that because again, I've dealt with this myself. And it's not just with women, but I have to say they tend to go a little bit farther. Sometimes a lot farther, further. Pick one. Pick the right one. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, she's playing a very good opponent. And her coach even said that, yeah, I was coaching. He even outed the other coaches. It was like, yeah, we all do it. I'm sure what's his name over there was coaching Osaka, right? Naomi, right? He just went. It was like he just went nuclear too. That's the best way I can explain like the way they both kind of responded. Like she went nuclear. She name called, and it just went crazier after that. And I've seen it. And at some point, somebody has to, de-escalate. She loses the match because her emotions got the best of her. I don't know what's going on in her personal life, but everybody has one. Take a look at what the conversations were before all this, before she had the baby, when she married a white guy. I don't know. I guess I guess she married a white guy. Okay. There's a lot of talk about that, right? She's just trying to play some tennis. I don't know what she said. She's fighting for women. I guess maybe she is. I don't. I, I'm not gonna dispute that. I'm sure she's done something somewhere where she was, talking to young girls and trying to keep them on the right path. I don't doubt it. Um, I don't know, man. Like what we choose to talk about sometimes, it's hey, I get it. I get it, man. Talk about it because these are issues that need to be talked about a lot of times. But I'm just saying how she might have responded to all the talk. Okay. What's all of this that's going on in the back, right? The backdrop. It could be frustrating. Can't you see? It could be frustrating. I could see it. She's getting older. She just had a baby. All this talk, 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 talk. Um, oh, is she as good as she once was? As good once as I ever been. I think she just wants something. All this talk, all this stuff going on in the back. All this talk, 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 talk. Her opponent is a Japanese woman. All this talk. Now we got the race division thing. All this talk, talk, talk. Now I'm not saying that Naomi Osaka isn't going through the same stuff, but how do you deal with it? But then again, Naomi is newer and she kind of has to deal with it because of that power dynamic. Serena's been in the game longer. I'm sure she's heard a whole bunch of things behind the scenes that none of us might ever hear about or know or understand. And you got to be one of the strong ones in that arena. And you still got to hear all this talk. All this talk, 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 talk. Right. Not only that, Japanese black, right? The Japanese young lady, Naomi Osaka, she's half black, Haitian, right? Haitian and Japanese. Beautiful girl. So she's half black against what? What do you call it? Full black? I don't, American black, two black versus one half black, like Obama, you know. Will we then after somebody who has two black parents, if there will be a day when that happens, who becomes president, will he then become the first black president for real, for real? Right? So then there's that. All this talk, 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 it talk, it talk, talk, it talk, talk, talk. Right? That was in there before. That's enough to like take that, make that feeling inside you, man. It can be it can be productive if you can channel it the right way, but after channeling it so many times, it turns into a heat. You know that inside feeling that it's like it's right down in here. Let me show you. It's right in here, right? It's right in here. Starts in here, and then it goes all the way up, and it's like it pushes down into your chest. All this talk, 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 talk. Stress. Again, hell, I've been on the other side of it, but I understand it. There, there's some guys, who do that too. But I've seen it more in females in person, personally, because it's only natural for that to be to happen with me because I've spent a lot of time with a lot of women. It's not that uh I'm generalizing women, really. It's just that I've been around multitudes of personalities of women, and there are certain things that I saw over that time that support what I believe. Two men know that they probably going to get in a fight over something, right? And two women, don't get it twisted. Two women will whip ass, and sometimes it almost seems, a little bit more mean spirited. But hey, man, so two different people, but I think men tend to not get back together, but make up quicker than women seem to do. And I think that goes back to, it's in the DNA. Women have this DNA. I mean, we all have DNA memory, right? But let's go back to times when a village could be taken over, right? And then you become somebody else's baby machine, right? Or you wind up dead, hell. But everybody has that one. Everybody's got a little protectionist in them. But I think that goes to that nature where they tend to not trust for a longer period of time. See, men would have to go in the battle, and it's going to be me or you. You're going to die, or I'm going to die, and that's the end of it, right? But then you got these people that are left behind who have to okay, they got to be strategic. Sometimes you got to, you know what I'm saying? And I think through there's still some of that, but at the same time, we're more free to express. They tend to be more free to express in these current times because of the freedom of speech that we have here. But also, I think in some cases they're even more protected than men. So, in that respect, you can take it a little bit further. You feel me? I hope I'm making some kind of damn sense. I don't know. I'm just going through this stream of consciousness, right? You got this memory DNA of being strategic, not trusting at times, and then you have the capacity of just like whipping ass also, you know, and you got these, you don't think people had to deal with postpartum depression back in them days too? Shit, I've seen pregnant women start fights or get ready to go off knowing they got a baby in their damn belly that's vulnerable, ready to whip ass, get hit or jogged, reality sets in. Oh, I got this baby in my belly. All of a sudden things change, right? Look, man. I try not to talk too much off of. I love thinking and theorizing and figuring out what happened, but I always try to go back to my own experiences for my guidance, and I see that as messages from my ancestors and predecessors and family and spirits. Those spirits talking to me, telling me, through my DNA, what they kind of experienced too. But these are my experiences. These are things I've seen too. I mean, I seek guidance, but goodness, man, I'm seeing a lot of stuff at 40. How old am I? 2018. Shit, man. I'm 40 something years old. I'm just saying. So then there's that full black thing versus the half black thing. You got to hear all of this, and you lost the first set. You starting to make some traction, and then something smacks you, and you take it a little bit harder than everybody else would have thought you might have taken. It was a warning, and then a warning turned into a penalty, which then turned into a game. And I felt like what happened was she went from, okay, I have to carry this thing through, to just going overboard with carrying it through. She could have, I mean, everybody could have says coulda, shoulda, woulda, but she's Serena. I ain't trying to tell her how to handle her business up in the damn U.S. Open, and I ain't even smelt it. I don't even know what the U.S. Open smell like. It ain't up to me to tell her what to do. She's done okay, but on this particular one, everybody got an opinion because it's hot right now. But all I'm saying is, I know I had one other thing written down. I think. Oh yeah, I got to touch on the other side of it, Osaka, and I touched on a little bit. The power dynamic. You know, she's good. She's good enough to win the Open, but I don't think she wanted to win like that. So in that respect, it also affected the other player because now there's going to be that yeah, but right. She didn't ask for that. She whipped your ass in the first set. You got her once or twice. Two. It was 3-1. Was it 3-1 or 2-1 in the second? Warning, penalty, game. Then she just had to serve out. You know, it just slid too far. She didn't want to win like that. She wanted to beat your ass fair and square without all the yappity yap. So she could go and say, you know what, I could beat her, and I did fair and square, bing bang boom. That's why she was crying. And I'm sure, another brilliant mind thought of that already. It's not too hard to guess, assume that that's, could possibly be, something that might go on inside of a top level player who's finally got a chance to win against one of the greatest to ever play the game, you know. Anyway, all I'm saying is that baby is kicking her ass. And all the other yappity yap is sending in a extra reinforcement of like, the questioning. This is her first baby. On your first baby, man, everything is just like heightened. Second baby, you get a little, you understand more stuff, and I don't know. It's just a little bit different. If she goes, I say, this is what I say. I said, Serena, go ahead and have you another baby so you could get right. Wait till this one gets about 2 years old and start talking, because that baby right now is 1 year old. So it's either pulling up and walking or crawling or already walking and getting into shit. That's what babies at 1 year old does. They get this inner independence, and that baby's moving around more and can get into more shit. And they starting to climb up on shit. He probably like bumped his head once or twice. He I don't know. Something happened with that baby's moving around. Husband's coming back. The nanny say, oh, he's trying to eat. The baby got a hold of the damn crayon that was on the floor because we were, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything, man. Babies be getting into shit. 1 year old learning how to walk. Hell, her baby probably been walking for about 6 months. As athletic as she is, that's all I'm saying, man. That's it. You know, there's probably a lot going on. I ain't gonna hate her. You know, I ain't gonna hate on her. You know, I'm gonna try to be empathetic, but at the same time, she did drop a few bombs on the whole thing, which I get that too. You be listening to the media, and you trying to do something good, and so like, it's a lot of misinformation and disinformation and crazy information out there, man. And I think people just trying to do the best they can, and sometimes just things just get out of hand. Anyway, that's my time. I don't know how long I've been on here. Sorry if I took up too much of yours. So yeah, this is D Train, D Train's bunk, and yeah. So therefore, on the other hand, nevertheless, word, peace.